Happy Saturday, Stack and Sats Day to the entire crypto fam. In today's show, as you can see, Bitcoin is pumping, currently above $27,300. I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. We're also quoting Max Keiser right here. The Bitcoin difficulty adjustment is leading a relatively small group of humans to a perfect money future. This is the face of God. And quoting Satoshi, if you don't believe me or don't get it, I don't have the time to try to convince you. Sorry. And check this out. Liz Warren's crypto army is out targeting Bitcoin for illicit money transfers and laundering. Meanwhile, the Pentagon could only account for 39% of its $3.5 trillion in assets and racked up $35 trillion in accounting changes in just 1 year. Facts. Also in today's show, net Bitcoin ATMs record an increase after 4 months of global downtrend. That's right, ATMs are on the rise. Also, we'll be discussing Cathedra Bitcoin unveils plans for their off-grid Bitcoin mining in Texas. We'll also be discussing, is Biden's controversial Bitcoin mining tax dead or set to rise from the ashes? We'll also be discussing BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes predicts a Bitcoin bull market ahead and says to expect fireworks. I'll be breaking down his timeline. I'll also be sharing the latest of Michael Saylor and his prediction for 2023. He says gold will fail and be replaced by Bitcoin. Bank collapses are a political decision. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just tuning in. This is pod episode number 1301. Happy Saturday, Stack and Sats Day. Today is June 3rd, 2023, and I am your host, JV. Naturally, we have lots to cover. Let's start with the market watch. You can see Bitcoin in the green, up 1% for the day, trading above 27,300 at the time of this live stream. We also have Ether up 0.75%, trading back above $1,900, and Tron leading the pack, up about 8.5%, trading above 8.2 cents. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sitting above $1.14 trillion with only 21 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 45.9%, with the Ether dominance just shy of 20% even at 19.9. And about an hour ago, it was at 20%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours. As you can see, Tron leading the pack, up 8%, trading above 8.2 cents, followed by Woo Network, up 5%, trading above 24 cents, followed by Immutable, up 5%, trading just above 80 cents. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, we also have Tron leading the pack here, up almost 11%. We got PLS up 7%, Pepe up 3.5%, and PLSX up 3.9%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 53 neutral, yesterday a 50, last week a 48, and last month a 64 in greed. So there you have it. It is what it is. Welcome everyone just joining us. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend thus far. Now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out the charts and what is happening. Bitcoin price has settled at around 27,000 after dipping below that level on a few occasions during the working week, with most altcoins also quiet for today aside from Tron, which has skyrocketed by double digits. So although Monday started on a highly positive note after the US government's debt ceiling deal and Bitcoin skyrocketed to 2-week highs at 28,500, but the week didn't turn out all that well for the leading crypto asset. It was rejected there, which brought it back down to 28,000 at first. However, a grand price dump followed, which pushed it south of just about 27,000. The following 2 days delivered a few more price dips, and the second of which took the Bitcoin price action to a weekly low of 26,500. But nonetheless, we started pumping here again this morning, currently above 27,300. And as such, the crypto's market cap remained at the same level as yesterday, just over 525 billion. Its dominance over the alts, though, has taken yet another minor hit, down to roughly 46%, as I pointed out. Now, the altcoins have also calmed on the 24-hour scale, similar to Bitcoin. Ethereum went on a trip south of 1900 during the week, but managed to reclaim that level after a few consecutive minor daily increases. Then we have Ripple and Cardano jumped about 1 to 2% in the past 24 hours, while Doge, Solana, Litecoin, and Polkadot are up by under 1%. So there you have it. And quoting Max Keiser, the Bitcoin difficulty adjustment is leading the relatively small group of humans to a perfect money future. This is the face of God. Touche. Preach. And with that being shared, fam, welcome to everyone just tuning in to today's live show. Now let's discuss Bitcoin ATMs on the rise, which I love to see. Definitely a good metric. How many of you have ever used the Bitcoin ATM? Let me know in the comments right down below. And let's break this down. Breaking the year-long worldwide trend of declining Bitcoin and crypto ATMs, May recorded a steep increase, about time, with nearly 1,400 net installations. The total number of crypto ATMs consistently declined in the first 4 months of this year, and during the time frame, major economies like the US contributed to the dwindling numbers, but Australia, Poland, and Spain increased their crypto ATM installations. So that's right, United States, we're falling behind. Now the chart, which you can see here, shows that in the first 4 months of this year, the net crypto ATMs worldwide declined by almost 6,000, and in May, however, about 1,400 machines were added back to the global crypto ATM network, confirming data from Coin ATM Radar. And while Bitcoin ATMs do not contribute to the growth of the Bitcoin network, it serves as a physical gateway for people to exchange their fiat currencies for crypto. In 2023 alone, Australia installed a total of 233 ATMs, climbing up the ranks to become the third largest crypto ATM hub in the world. So shout out to all the fam down under. And despite a poor long reduction, the United States maintains the leading position, representing 84.7% of crypto ATMs worldwide, followed by Canada at only 7.6%. And at this time, 35,000 ATMs remain operational worldwide. And recently, a hacker managed to access sensitive information, a Bitcoin ATM manufacturer, General Bytes, including passwords, private keys, and funds, as announced here by General Bytes on crypto Twitter. On March 17th to the 18th, 2023, General Bytes experienced a security incident. We released a statement urging customers to take immediate action to protect their personal information. That is scary, isn't it? They're quoting them here. We have taken immediate steps to further unauthorized access of our systems and are working tirelessly to protect our customers, they shared. And as previously mentioned, the hacker managed to drain at least 56 Bitcoin and 21 Ether. And to avoid a similar situation in the future, the company advised its operators and customers to migrate to self-hosted server installation, which can be secured by a virtual private network, better known as a VPN. So there you have it. Hopefully the adoption of ATMs around the world for crypto continue to spout up. I'm noticing quite a few, even out here in Puerto Rico, which is fantastic. And with that being shared, now let's discuss some off-grid mining taking place in Texas. Then we'll be discussing the latest with the Biden 30% proposed mining tax. And then we'll be discussing some Bitcoin fireworks as per the ex-BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes. And then we'll discuss the latest prediction from the one and only Giga Chad Michael Saylor, his 2023 Bitcoin prediction, which he recently shared with Kitco News. And then we'll be doing some live Q&A. So yeah, let's discuss some mining. And how many of you are mining Bitcoin? Let me know in the comments below. According to Cathedra Bitcoin, the firm will be deploying Bitcoin miners at 360 mining's off-grid Texas campus. CBIT will pay $55 per megawatt hour of power consumed, plus 10% of the gross Bitcoin mined at the site. The announcement details the deal gives CBIT the rights to 2 megawatts of mining capacity, which could produce an estimated 0.054 exahashes per second, or 54 petahashes per second of capacity. If necessary, it is economically advantageous to do so. The companies can abstain from Bitcoin mining and sell the natural gas on the open market. We're excited to begin working with 360 Mining, a company run by Bitcoiners who have put in the proof of work to develop off-grid mining expertise. Now, Cathedra's chairman and president Drew Armstrong stated, this partnership is an important step for Cathedra, and also added, with the onset of the Bitcoin bear market last year, we were focused to pause our rover manufacturing efforts in pursuit of off-grid energy to focus on maximizing the near-term operating cash flow. Cathedra plans to deploy its own mobile Bitcoin mining data centers called rovers to start with. These rovers will be equipped with older models of mining machines, specifically the WhatsMiner MS-1S and MS-2S, with Cathedra obtained through its partnership with Great American Mining in 2021 and 2022. The firm aims to optimize these machines using its underclocking technology with the goal to make them more energy efficient. Quoting them here, upon completion of any subsequent deployments, the company expects the full 2 megawatts Bitcoin mining capacity under the partnership to produce at least 54 pH of incremental hash rate. Cathedra's announcement, detailed and in collaboration with 360 Mining, comes in the wake of numerous Bitcoin mining companies expanding their operations and acquiring thousands of ASIC machines of their fleets. And despite the challenges faced by Bitcoin miners during the crypto bear market of 2022, 2023 has brought significant improvements for Bitcoin mining participants, especially when it comes to the profits. So there you have it. And now let's break down our latest. We all heard that proposed tax for Bitcoin miners at 30% if you're in the United States, and then it kind of got brushed away. Well, is it really off the table, or can this come back to bite us in the butt? Let's discuss it in further detail. Bitcoin miners in the U.S. can breathe a sigh of relief after proposed tax on crypto mining did not make it into the bill to raise the U.S. debt ceiling that appears set to pass. The digital asset mining energy excise tax proposal start to charge crypto miners a tax equal to 10% of the cost of electricity they use for mining in 2024 before scaling up to 30% in 2026. The tax was highly controversial, with critics arguing that it had the potential to increase global emissions as a result of miners being forced to go overseas, where countries may produce more emissions during energy production. And additionally, Bitcoin miners seek out cheap energy, and as one of the cheapest sources of energy in excess, renewable energy, Bitcoin miners can actually incentivize its production by providing utilities with a buyer of energy that would otherwise be wasted. The news broke after Bitcoin miner Riot Platforms Price President Research Pierre Rochard noted May 28th that the proposed bill did not include any mention of this DAME tax, which Representative Warren Davidson replied was one of the victories of the bill. Shout out to Warren Davidson. Now, while much of the online discussion around the news suggests the proposal was dead, others, such as Coinmetrics co-founder Nick Carter, highlighted it was only temporarily defeated, alluding to the possibility of it being included in future bills. As Nick Carter warns us here on Crypto Twitter, Carter suggested later in a May 29 Twitter thread that the administration would likely attempt to sneak it into some omnibus bill and would already have done so if they had the political currency to do so. I think he makes a great point. But bills are required to pass both through Congress and the House, and considering the Republican Party is generally opposed to increasing in taxes and currently controls the House, it seems unlikely that such a bill would likely be able to make it into the president's desk. And while speaking to the Chamber of Digital Commerce founder and CEO, Pierre Boring, during the May 20th fireside chat at the Bitcoin 2023 conference in Miami, we had Senator Cynthia Lummis assured viewers that the DAME tax isn't going to happen. Now, we all hope that Cynthia Lummis is correct. Lummis added that ensuring Bitcoin mining firms remain in the U.S. was important for both the national security and energy security, highlighting how Bitcoin mining can both reduce the gas flaring emissions and help to stabilize the energy grid. Now, is the damage already done? In response to questions from Cointelegraph, Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital Holdings CEO Fred Thiel suggested that regardless of whether President Joe's administration decides to keep pursuing the DAME tax, it will continue its anti-crypto agenda. Quoting him here, "I think it is clear that this administration will continue to broadly oppose the crypto sector, and even this specific tax is no longer on the table. It is likely not the last of the misguided targeted efforts to bring this industry down." I mean, he's telling it like it is. I agree there 100%. They're going to continue and continue. Thiel highlighted how the actions of the U.S. government and regulators weigh in on business decisions while speaking to Cointelegraph, saying, regardless of the DAME tax's likelihood of passing, Marathon has already begun diversifying the locations of our operations. He added that with regulation around mining being so nebulous, his firm has made the strategic decision not to concentrate its footprint in the U.S., but rather diversify its operations. He pointed to a May 9th announcement from his firm, which said it would be building 2 new mining facilities in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is a region that has made a concentrated effort to attract crypto-related investments via its clear regulatory regime, which has been hailed as pro-market. So take that, United States clearly falling behind, and it's causing miners to open up shop overseas like we're witnessing in Abu Dhabi. And I don't blame them at the end of the day when there is no clarity in the market, and it seems this Operation Crypto Choke Point will continue from regulators and politicians alike. But with that being shared, fam, now let's discuss some bullishness for the King Crypto, shall we? And this is coming from the ex-BitMEX CEO, Arthur Hayes. He is outlining a bullish path for Bitcoin amid the current reduced crypto market activity. He said in a new essay that the Federal Reserve's rate hike will catalyze a Bitcoin bull run. According to Arthur Hayes, the Fed will likely have to print money to pay interest on reserve balances, thereby increasing liquidity in the system. Hayes predicts that wealthy asset holders who receive interest payments from the Fed will likely buy risk assets with the proceeds. And quoting him here, all of this interest paid is effectively a stimulus program to wealthy asset holders. What do wealthy asset holders do when they have more money than they need? They purchase risk assets, gold, Bitcoin, AI tech stocks, etc., with all the beneficiaries of this wealth that is printed by the government and handed out as interest. Hayes says he believes that the fireworks in the real Bitcoin bull market will begin in the late third and early fourth quarter of this year. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes. And on the reduced crypto market activity, the BitMEX founder said that the American summer months tend to always disappoint, but that the situation will later change. Quoting him here, I expect that Bitcoin will hold firm here. I do not believe we will retest 20,000 or come anywhere close as money slowly trickles into the global risk asset markets. A strong base of support will form. Volatility and trading volumes always disappoint during the northern hemispheric summer months, so I am not surprised that degens plagued by boredom have checked out of crypto trading for the time being. I will use this time to slowly increase my allocation to Bitcoin after the U.S. Treasury's general account is replenished. And as more and more pundits start talking about what is happening to the billions of dollars printed by the Fed and U.S. Treasury and handed out as interest, it will become common knowledge once more that the money printer is going brrr, and then the printer goes brrr, Bitcoin goes boom. So there you have it. Lo and behold, money printers keep doing their thing and Bitcoin will continue climbing. Do you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes? Will likely have a fantastic Bitcoin breakout sometime in the fourth quarter of this year, heading into the first quarter of 2024. Also keeping in mind now the Bitcoin halving is roughly only 10 months out. That's right, it's going to be happening, and once it does, you already know, prepare for the fireworks. With that being shared, now for the latest prediction coming from Michael Saylor. That's right, we got the MicroStrategy CEO. He was recently interviewed by Kitco News and made a very bold prediction. So let's break this down, and then we'll dive into some live Q&A. Let's go. And shout out to everyone just tuning in and joining us in the live chat. Gold will fail as an asset as people realize the Bitcoin offers superior properties to the yellow metal. That is according to billionaire Michael Saylor, the executive chair and co-founder of MicroStrategy, the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet and currently holds a whopping 140,000 BTC. He says here, Bitcoin is the digital synthetic successor to gold. Lead anchor and editor-in-chief at Kitco News, that Michael Saylor was talking to, and said Bitcoin is going to appreciate at a faster rate. Gold is going to fail. Eventually, people will sell all of their gold and buy Bitcoin. Let's ask Peter Schiff if this is true. Well, guess what? Peter Schiff has finally capitulated and launching NFTs on the Bitcoin blockchain via ordinals. So, hey, maybe it's that time. Now, MicroStrategy started purchasing Bitcoin back in August of 2020, which Saylor has paid off given the appreciation in Bitcoin's price since then, ultimately meaning the investment has paid off. Bitcoin is up 140%, he observed. The S&P index is up maybe 25%. The NASDAQ is up in the teens or maybe less. Gold is like plus 1%, and silver has been down and lost money, and bonds have lost even more. Now, a long-term hodler of Bitcoin, Saylor claimed that Bitcoin had succeeded as an inflation hedge and store of value. He first started investing into Bitcoin because of its limited supply cap and decentralized blockchain network, which makes it cheaper to self-custody than other assets without the counterparty risks. Quoting the Giga Chat again, Bitcoin is faster, smarter, stronger than gold with all the advantages of gold. A bearer instrument with no counterparty risk that's a non-sovereign store of value. Gold is expensive to hold. It's centralizing. People can steal it from you, and gold miners keep debasing it to make more gold. That's right. Facts. He's preaching there. Now, Saylor also recently spoke at the Bitcoin Miami conference just recently. How many of you watched it? Let me know. This is what he had to share. I am a Bitcoin realist. He maintained that he is a Bitcoin realist and not a purist, or when it comes to how people choose to hold their Bitcoin. He goes on to share, if Bitcoin is going to be the solution for 8 billion people on the planet, then it's going to be inevitable that large institutions, churches, corporations, and the like are going to need an infrastructure of custodians and banks. There are all sorts of groups of people that can't reasonably be expected to self-custody, and he noted that a corporation which owns Bitcoin cannot have the CEO or board of directors self-custody the Bitcoin due to due diligence and regulation. Quoting him again, if Apple is going to have Bitcoin and Apple is a corporation, they are not going to give it to Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, he remarked. Now, March of 2023 saw the failure of Bank Silvergate, Silicon Valley Banking Signature, and on May 1st, First Republic Bank also collapsed and was bought by JP Morgan Chase. And in total, these banks had over $500 billion in total assets. Saylor said that whether or not more U.S. banks fail is a political decision. He's right. Quoting him here, it's the politicians that decide whether the banks collapse. They can choose to have them not collapse by backing them, or they can choose to take into receivership a bank. And then the creditors and the equity holders are wiped out, and the depositors aren't. So in the case of Silvergate, Silicon Valley Bank, and Signature, the federal government and Federal Reserve bailed out depositors while allowing the banks to fail. This was all by design, folks. Quoting him again, under no circumstances would I have my money in a weak bank or in a bank in a weak country with a weak currency. That is basically playing Russian roulette. In the US, I would probably have confidence in my deposits, but if I were an investor or creditor to a smaller bank, I wouldn't have confidence in my securities. So there you have it. Very powerful, bold words coming from Michael Saylor. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I agree 100%. I don't trust the banks whatsoever. So only keep in your bank what you're willing to lose at the end of the day. So there you have it. Now let's dive into some live Q&A. Welcome to each and every one of you joining in the live chat. What's poppin'? Crypto fam, Nathan Roth, good to see you. Fifth column, Coin Father, Never Better. Oh, cool name there. Phil C, what's poppin'? Dankness, always a pleasure. Michael Volkman, Bitcoin Maximus, Mike Well, Megadon, Andrew 2, Ron P, Steve Kingston, good to see. Jeremy Amos, what's poppin'? Dan Drummond, good to see you fam as well. Mike M, welcome. And I'm going to scroll to the top. Dan says we are close. The maximum people who will ever own one Bitcoin, quoting Adam Back. Massive shout out to Adam Back. If it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have Bitcoin as we know it today, as he was one of the many who worked on many of the technologies that were needed in order to construct Bitcoin. Was it Hashcash or something of that? He's the inventor of. So yeah, much respect to Adam Back. He's also the founder of Blockstream, an early Bitcoin OG, and very powerful words. Keeping in mind, there's over 50 million plus millionaires around the world. There can only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in circulation. As we all know, that's the finite limited supply. So I think he's right. So if you're not close to already owning some Bitcoin, what are you waiting for? Take advantage of it while you still can. Keep it in mind, Bitcoin is on the low. You can buy it today at $27,000. Considering back in 2021 in November, we hit $69,000. I'd say that's a pretty steep discount. So keep stacking them stats. I mean, it is Saturday. What else are you going to do with your life except stacking stats? You know what I mean? Just saying. Good morning and welcome to everybody. Digital Dankness' birthday today. Everyone, please help me wish Digital Dankness a very special happy birthday. Yesterday was my pop's birthday. He would be 73 if he was still here with us on this planet, but he ascended a few years back. So yeah, appreciate the birthday love, and yeah, much love to Digital Dankness. He is a firefighter, just a diehard Bitcoin OG. He's been attending the show here for a very long time, virtually every day. So I got a lot of respect for the dude. What's poppin'? That is correct. This is episode number 1301. Can you believe it? I can't wait for the next 1300 episodes till we're on episode number, what is that, 2601? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Where do you think the Bitcoin price would likely be by then in the next 3 years? Holla at your boy. Yeah, everyone's showing him some birthday love. Love to hear that. Much, much love. Smash the likes. I appreciate that as well, especially if you're new to the channel. The greatest compliment you can do, smash the like, make sure you subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every single day whenever there is new content, when I go live, as I typically go live every day at 12 p.m. Eastern, but sometimes I'm a little later. Sometimes I'm a little earlier. It just is what it is. I got to live my life. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's good to see Bitcoin back in the green. Let's see if we have a green candle ultimately for the month of June. Last month was very boring, sideways action as we were stuck in that channel for a very long time. What's good, Jeremy Amos? Good to see you. Gold is now worth the same as lead. Is that a fact? Mike, isn't that insane? Obviously, gold prices are suppressed. They have been suppressed for a very long time. That's why gold is worth the same as it was practically a decade ago. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is up roughly 20 million% in that same decade. So would you have preferred to be a gold investor like Peter Schiff over the past decade, or a Bitcoin investor like Max Keiser and Adam Back over the past decade? You let me know in the comments right down below what kind of returns that you like. The stream is back. Did I go out for a moment? Do let me know if that was the case, because I did not know that. Hopefully that was only your computer. Good stuff. Yeah, man. JV, keep the home fire. Appreciate it. Ron P, much love. Job bless. Appreciate your support, fam. Thank you for tuning in. Good-ish as always. Reached level 41 today. That's what's up. And again, happy 41st birthday. You got 1 year over me. I just turned 40 back in February, so I know all about that life. Enjoy it, you know what I mean? Yes, Bitcoin machines turned up in my grocery store. That's what's up, Mike Well. And where's your location? What country of the world are you in that you're starting to see them turn up? I'm starting to notice more and more on the island, which is good stuff. Happy birthday. A lot of birthday wishes. I'm on level 46, says Megadon. I think. Much love. There is a Bitcoin ATM close to my house, but I have not used it because the fees seem too high for me, says Volkman. That's right. It's more of like if you're in an emergency situation and you need access to some fiat capital and you want to use some crypto, because that's how the owners of the Bitcoin ATM, that's how they make money, is through the fees. So it may be between 5 and 10% fee, where maybe typically on an ATM, when you use fiat ATMs, what is it, roughly 2.9% or 3.9% max if you're not using your own bank, because if it's an ATM supported by the bank, it's usually free. Also like to point out, from my understanding in El Salvador, shout out to Nayib Bukele, all the ATMs in their country, being Bitcoin as a legal tender, 0 fees. So that's what we need to get to in the United States. How many of you would be using Bitcoin ATMs if there were no fees? Then it would make sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, of course, no one wants to pay an 8 or 10% fee if it could be avoided, especially when it comes to your precious Satoshis. So I completely understand. You know what I mean? ATMs in every Super One store in the Midwest and Walmart. Good to note. So when you say ATMs, you're specifically referring to Bitcoin or crypto ATMs, right? Just wanted to clarify. Let me know. That's what's up. Good morning, JV and crypto family. What is good, Nathan Roth? Appreciate you tuning in, fam, as always. What's poppin'? Was running late because I played ball this morning. I'll catch the rewind later. All good. Glad you got the ball. One of my favorite things to do. We have probably about 10 full court basketball courts here in my community. I ball virtually every day. It's one of my favorite things to do to stay in shape. You know what I mean? And put it in. Did you win the hoop game? Dankness ass. Won a couple. Lost a couple. Completely understand. Won at exercise. Everyone was a winner, right? Always room for improvement, 100%. I'm stacking stats and smoking blunts, says the fifth column. Well, you're in the right place. Got you. Word up. Have a happy all. That's right. Happy days. Michael, I think all the Bitcoin ATMs I have seen and used are expensive because they are not Lightning, but the new ones are built on Lightning and cheaper. I'm glad you actually brought that up. Naturally, if the ATM is utilizing Lightning, the fees are going to be a fraction, and it's going to be that much more speedier as well, which really means it's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Good stuff. Happy birthday to Digital Dankness, says J-Dub. 2025 for Bitcoin is going to be insane. You already know. Grant Dunn, 100%. I'm with you there. 2025 central banks can hold Bitcoin and crypto. We shall see. You know what I mean? I think once there is naturally clarity from the regulators, considering, the SEC has no clarity at the moment. And I think once we get a spot Bitcoin ETF finally in the United States, there's going to be trillions of dollars ushering into the crypto economy. And naturally, I am very bullish for that. The regulators and powers that be, the matrix, they could only suppress the price action for so long, which is what they try to do by having bad actors such as Scam Bankman-Fried within FTX, which we're working with regulators. You know what I mean? And that was the second largest exchange in the world, still collapsed. You know what I mean? That's because regulators are shady and they were colluding. You know what I mean? Not a good look at the end of the day. Phil, I think it is going to be into 2026, 2027, but definitely see the Bitcoin and crypto regulations being finished and passed by the USA. I mean, they're going to try to prolong it as long as possible. That's the agenda. Couldn't be any more clear. If that wasn't the agenda, we'd already have clarity in the market many, many years ago, right? The bad actors would have dissipated the space a very long time ago, the Scam Bankman-Frieds and so forth. And also, it'd be a different time. You know what I mean? We'd have mass institutional adoption. But unfortunately, the powers that be, the ones who control the iMatrix, are doing everything to hold on to that control and power in which they have. But we'll see how long it lasts. Thank God for Bitcoin at the end of the day, because we know Bitcoin is the true antidote to the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, and the madness that is amongst us. Adam Back is responsible for Hashcash. That's right. Thank you, Phil C., for the confirmation. Greatly appreciate that. Steve says, listen to Saylor. 100%. Saylor is one smart man, obviously knows his stuff. I like how he described if he kept fiat currency on the balance sheet for MicroStrategy, he described it as a melting ice cube because it's losing so much to purchasing power every year, like 20 to 30%. So if he didn't put Bitcoin on its balance sheet, he'd just be losing so much fiat. It made absolutely no sense. So Bitcoin saved Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, and much respect as they now have 140,000 Bitcoin on the balance sheet. That's a pretty big deal. More birthday wishes for digital dankness. That's what's up. CoinFather was announced that at the start of 2025, central banks will be able to hold. Well, if they made that announcement, expect major banks around the world to be holding Bitcoin if they're not already doing so. We already know people who are allegedly against Bitcoin, such as Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase, but they're investing into Bitcoin just like Warren Buffett through Bitcoin mining companies and so forth. So even BlackRock has strategic investments into Bitcoin. Maybe it's not directly we're holding X amount of Bitcoin, but through other means, just like we're witnessing right now. You know what I mean? And they know what's up. Don't listen to what they say, but watch what they do, because Jamie Dimon will be on TV lying to your face. Jamie the tapeworm Dimon, right? And he'll be telling you everything is great. Don't worry about bank failures. Things are looking good. Bitcoin is rat poison square. Don't touch that. But actually look at what they're doing and see how many investments they have related to Bitcoin. And that tells us a different story. It goes to show us we can't believe anything these corrupt mofos tell us. We need to verify. Trust nothing, verify everything. This is the motto of Bitcoin. Let me know if you can relate. Yeah, all banks, 100%. And all the youngins, 40 years old, youngster, says Steve, do we have an older audience here? Am I the youngest at 40? Is anyone younger than me? Let me know. Mike says in Pennsylvania. Okay, that's what's up. McHenry said that we would have crypto regulation written up in the next 2 months. I'm not that optimistic, but I would love to see it. You know what I mean? Phil, also where I feel we see Bitcoin progressively going up after regulatory action, because we'll see more ditching of some bonds and add Bitcoin to 401k, or they'll just be buying it and holding it. I think it'll just make the most sense. The most strategic reserve, most pristine form of collateral is Bitcoin. There's no denying that, right? It's the only money ever introduced to humanity that has a finite limited supply, which means it has true scarcity built in. No other form of money has scarcity. You may say, but precious metals are rare. Yeah, they're so rare they introduce a new amount to the market every single year. So that means they can continue to discover more at will, and which is what they do. But guess what? You can't discover more. You know what I mean? That's why when they asked Michael Saylor, what's the second best crypto? There is no second best. There's Bitcoin and you got Bitcoin. He understands it's decentralized. You know what I mean? It's an escape valve. It's untouchable. It's unconfiscatable. It's uncorruptible. It's borderless, and continues to continue. As he says, it has all the qualities that you would want gold to have, but it doesn't have any of the negative effects which gold has. You know what I mean? It does what gold can do, but it has superior qualities that make it, in my opinion, 100, 1,000 times more superior. And that's why you even have people like Peter Schiff, who are the biggest gold bugs in the world, capitulating to BTC. I thought I'd never see this day. I was watching the Pompliano podcast with him and Peter Schiff, and I was just like, is this for real? Is this really happening? Yes, it is really happening right now. So even gold bugs are starting to recognize the power of Bitcoin, and that's why Saylor boldly says Bitcoin will take over gold. What is the gold market cap at today? Probably between 11 to 12 trillion dollars. Once the Bitcoin market cap surpasses that, considering we're only at a $500 billion market cap right now, could you imagine when we have a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trillion dollar market cap just for Bitcoin, where the price action can be? That's when the Winklevoss twins made the case for a $500,000 Bitcoin price a couple of years back. It was from Bitcoin overcoming that of gold as far as a market cap, because more and more people are going to be introduced to Bitcoin. More and more gold bugs like Peter Schiff are going to be introduced to Bitcoin, and they're going to realize, why am I investing into this precious metal when Bitcoin is that much more superior? I mean, just look at the math. Numbers don't lie. Gold is up virtually 0% in the past 10 years. Bitcoin is up 20 million %. Where do you want to put your strategic assets? The choice is yours, fam. The ball is in your court. What are you going to do? Let me know. Diamond wants to be the president. Are you referring to Jamie Dimon? Please no. I think we will see QE first rate drop sometime between September and November of this year, 2023. There is no current yield available on Bitcoin. Too volatile and unstable right now. So is it yet a good T-bill replacement? I love the analogy of the melting ice cube. Me too. If your machinery percentages plead the fifth, your crypto gets eliminated from my Crypto Planet stamp chip company. I don't know what that means, but it's one granite ore machine stops. My crypto falls 10%. Oh, you're referring to your machines? Are you talking about mining? I feel the bond market will be replaced with Bitcoin. That's right. And let's also keep in mind, as Max pointed out, the total addressable market in the entire world. Also, Michael Saylor recently talked about this in that same interview. He talks about this. It's roughly $400 trillion. This includes everything, all forms of money, including derivatives. So if you have a $400 trillion total addressable market, if Bitcoin only penetrated 1% of that market, we're talking about a $1 to $2 million Bitcoin price realistically at today's fiat prices. And if you factor in hyperinflation and the purchasing power over the coming years continuing to dwindle when it comes to fiat money, this makes me even that much more bullish. And what if Bitcoin tapped into 5% of the total addressable market? $10 million Bitcoin price becomes a realistic scenario just like that. So there's so much potential for the King crypto over the coming years. Even though we are still early, we have a Bitcoin halving 10 months out. 2025, I think things are going to get very, very interesting. And that's when I expect extreme parabolas, fireworks, and greatness to come. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. You know what I mean? JV sounds like a Bitcoin maxi. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Coinfather, can we teach you how to grow old and you refuse to grow up? Sometimes wisdom, sometimes just obsolete. Try building or selling physical gold. It is ridiculously hard. Facts. Even Schiff's son sees the value in Bitcoin. Shout out to Spencer Schiff. You're right. He's been trying to orange pill his father for a long time. I think Peter really gets Bitcoin. He's just so stubborn. Like, he is just the definition of stubborn. You know what I mean? And he's just unwilling to change his opinion because he's making so much money selling gold to the Bitcoin bugs. He sells precious metals. You know what I mean? He has investment funds in gold. So, but think of it this way. What if he would have just listened to Max and put a small portion of his gold investments into Bitcoin a decade ago? Where would that be today? And he's starting to see the bigger picture now because he realizes, crap, I messed up. Spencer wouldn't ever have to work another day in his life. His children, my grandchildren, if we would have just did this in Bitcoin versus gold. Meanwhile, his bank in Puerto Rico gets shut down and he has headache problem after another. And how many of you saw Joe Biden fall down yet again? This is the so-called president of the United States. It's kind of sad. You know what I mean? I feel like anyone who attacks Bitcoin, all those fiat puppets, they have it coming. It's called karma. It is what it is. But who do you think will win the next presidential election? Do you think Bitcoin will be one of the biggest issues? I already think it is. We already have DeSantis, who is Republican, pro-Bitcoin, anti-CBD. CBDC, and we also have the likes of Kennedy Jr., who is Democrat, but also pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDC. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Felix, welcome. Hey, bro, I love Bitcoin, but I love all crypto. You won't grow if you're a Bitcoin-only maxi, but it's your channel just to expect to gain a lot of followers. Well, I don't believe this to be true. I mean, I've been a Bitcoin maxi for a long time. That doesn't mean I'm anti-crypto or against any crypto. I just feel I understand Bitcoin so much. I'm so confident in it because of what it is. You know what I mean? And maybe if I talked less about Bitcoin and more about other cryptocurrencies, my channel would be even bigger. Potentially, I don't know. I talk about Bitcoin the most because it's what I'm most passionate about and I believe in it so much. But we absolutely still talk about other cryptocurrencies. We just focus on Bitcoin. And I think Bitcoin deserves all the focus because number one, it's the largest crypto by market cap. Obviously, over $500 billion market cap. It is decentralized. It's the only truly decentralized cryptocurrency. The next best thing is Ethereum, and Ethereum is centralized. They're working with the World Economic Forum. It's no longer proof of work. It's a proof of stake. So Bitcoin is just in a league of its own. So a part of me thinks like my show should be called Bitcoin News Alerts. But hey, I launched the show three and a half years ago. It's called Crypto News Alerts. We still touch upon cryptos, but I absolutely want everyone to know how I feel. Many of these cryptocurrencies are absolutely scams, the majority of them, including all of these meme coins we see popping up. I'm not in this to make a quick buck. I'm in this for long-term longevity, you know what I mean? Future wealth for generations to come. I can care less about a quick buck. I'd be shilling sponsorships of ish coins every day, making a fortune. I've already created my wealth before I got into crypto. I was already, very successful. So I'm not in this for the money. I'm here for the technology and what it represents for the people. The biggest word, my favorite 7-letter word, freedom. Freedom. That's what this represents to me. That's what the Bitcoin movement is all about. That's what the Bukele movement is all about in El Salvador. It's giving us an escape hatch to ultimately a system that threw us overboard literally decades ago, right? It's an escape hatch out of the fiat matrix. Bitcoin equals the escape hatch out the matrix. And without it, you're stuck in that matrix. You're stuck in ish coinery, which includes fiat currencies around the world. That's just how I feel. Let me know if you guys can relate. Dude, ish coins can't be trusted. That's right. Trust nobody, verify everything. I trust no ish coin. I trust no CEO. Thank God Bitcoin doesn't have a CEO. You know what I mean? It's just done in a brilliant way. Hence why Bitcoin is the king. Felix agrees. That's what's up, man. Love to hear it. But anyways, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We discussed the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as net Bitcoin ATMs record an increase after 4 months of a global downtrend. We also discussed Cathedra, Bitcoin unveils their plans for off-grid Bitcoin mining in Texas. Let's go. We also discuss, is Sleepy Joe Biden's controversial Bitcoin mining tax dead or set to rise from the ashes? I don't think it's over yet. Also, we discussed BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes predicting a Bitcoin bull market ahead and says to expect fireworks, and I shared his timeline. I also shared the latest prediction from Michael Saylor for his 2023 Bitcoin prediction, saying gold will fail and be replaced by Bitcoin, and bank collapses are a political decision. I believe that to be true. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you